3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. Center, cross, knees, circular movements. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. Reverse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. Center. Hands on your waist. Okay, neck turning. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. Back and forth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. Just kind of tilt. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1 and stop. Center, down, circular movements. 1, 2, 3. Reverse. 1, 2, 3. Hands up. Inhale, up on your toes. Exhale. Okay. Fold your elbows. Inhale. Exhale. Complete motion. 1, 2, 3. So you're coordinating your breath and movement. Open your hands, open your legs so you spread here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, and stop. Turn. Stretch it out. Okay, switch. 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 If you straighten out the front foot, it makes it a little easier to set into the stance. And you want the rear leg as straight as possible. Switch. You can always straighten the front leg. Get stretching out the back of the leg, the hamstring. Switch. 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 Go to center, spread your feet. Okay, so we're just doing a squatting down, squat stance, or kind of get the inner thigh. Okay, we shake it out. So even though we stretch to kick, it actually helps your stances too. Because, one of the things that conflicts in movement is generally tension. So if your legs are tight, you're not going to sit into your stance because it's going to hold you up. So like when we sink down, you have to release, let go of the tension in the joints. If you just bend your knees, your legs can be still. Could have some erroneous tension or excessiveness, so you really can't settle into your stance. So, deep breathing. So that's what's important. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Okay, hands here. Punching. And center. Switch. Center, side. A little more extension, Max. Kind of. Switch. And center. Okay, next, here, fist, turn, turn. And stop. Hands here, edge of the hand. And center. Switch. And center. Circular movements. Okay, try to keep your elbows in. So it's like, just imagine if you had a wheel and you had two stems off of it and you're just kind of pedaling it like you're pedaling a bike. So keep your elbows as vertical as possible. Don't let them go like this. And don't let it go a little chaotic. Just keep that line. So in other words, don't let it wobble. Keep the elbows in and down. Okay, back fist. Get a full extension, but don't lock the elbow. So just shy of locking so you don't hurt your elbow. and switch. Point your elbow. That's how back fist goes out. Back fist dictates direction of your fist. So if it points high, you go high. Points low, you go low. Okay. Okay, center. Shake it out. Deep breathing. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, up on your toes. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Okay, hands here. We're going to go into horse stance, pivoting. So we start off not from the shoulder width. We have to pull it together a little bit, maybe about 2 inches apart maybe. So there's your stance. Bend. 1, 2, 3.5, down. Then we extend one arm and punch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So give it a little bit of a twist in the back. Your hand is turning, but you want your torso to turn a little bit as well. So you don't want to hold it rigid and do that. Just twist, 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 twist. 1, 2, and stop. Fold, close. Okay, low block. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, extend. 1, 2, 3. Middle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Extend and close. So when you block, have your hand cupped slightly like this. So that just gives the hand a little bit of structural integrity. So when it comes across, your hand still is firm. It's not just lifting. So this is helping you to create some strength here, because when you block, that's the position. If you get to the 8th form and you make a fist, then you're like this. Right? So this just gives you some strength in the forearm, and you're like this. So this is to the corner, this is into the front directly. So you're using your body as a reference. So it's shoulder width. So this is in front of the shoulder. So there's your shoulder width. There's your position in the 4th form. That's also a position. So the parallel arm position is really squared to the body, and that's what your body has to kind of check. Elbow down, right? That's your down position. If it's close, it could be here, 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 depending on the technique. Okay, so this is just about a fist distance from your waist or your torso. If it's too big, you see it starts to spread. If it's too close, then you create some tension. Right? So you have to find that average position. So that's what your middle block is. And you extend, close. Then going to high, we lift. We lift. Come up through your center. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and stop. Now when we do this, a high block, typically you would think you're just going to lift your arm like this. So when you lift, this is a plane of movement, and if you just lift like this, then if your shoulder's tight, then it doesn't want to go up. So people that do a lot of benching or standing presses, the shoulder gets pretty tight. So when you lift, it kind of wants to kind of bind on you. So when you go to the high block position, actually, if you go to the 45 line and then open it back up, your shoulder will be much more relaxed. So don't block like this, because that will end up not very efficient and it's not effective. Your block should be like this. So in other words, you cross to here and then reset to here. So this front hand is actually in line with your forehead. henceforth, when you do the side bend, that's where your hand should be. We don't want to practice the hand out here, then do a side bend thinking that that's all you're doing. We're really focusing on this muscle memory and this muscle memory, right? So you say, well, I'm bending to stretch here, so how does that help your high block? Well, because when you go like this, you go like this, and you go like this. So this structure could also be that, you see. So what you're doing is building foundation for the body. And as you move from here to here, that becomes the precise movement. If you do double block, that's your movement. So as your hands know this position, then over time, you don't have to think about the hand. We know that that's the movement. There's that, and there's that, and that's in the second form. And then when you drop your elbow to here, there's your basic square position. Your hands are slightly cupped. We got to this position like this. We got to this position like this. But that's really not a different position. It's essentially a body form. So how you got there, you could go like this, you could go like this, you could go like this. That's what muscle memory is. It teaches you to go to a position and it knows where it is. Okay, so that's what we're doing. Creatures of habit, we do it over and over again. Eventually those movements, get learned and just programmed into your body, and it knows it. So that's how we learn. You could develop bad habits, not knowing your hand could be anywhere in the space, thinking it's the same. It's not exactly the same. It's I call it degrees of correctness. If I say it's completely wrong, well, that's really something that you have to work through. So the degrees of correctness is, it's not so correct, it gets better, then it's perfect. But, perfect is just something you strive for. So then we combine the three. There's 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Extend. Okay, now we're going to do a low block and a punch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Close. Middle. 1, 2, 3, 4. So block and hold. So this is sustained. 3, 4, 1, 2. Okay, then you close. Next, high block punch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Close. So here, extend. Push to the side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Low. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then go up. Eyebrow level. 3, push 4, 5, 6, and hold. So this should be right in front of the eyebrows. Okay. Now we go to center. Shoulder height. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Extend. Turn. curl, sink the hand, so your forearm is parallel to the floor. Extend, 1, 2, 3. If you were to close, extend again, 1. Roll the wrists, sink down, form the fists, fold the elbows, drop the elbows, pull it towards your back. Okay, then we close. Okay, deep breathing. So, while we do these as warm-ups, they're fundamentals. And anything that we do really supports everything else that we do. So whether it's from your form or it's just a strategy and how you use it. So every movement has functionality. So when the hand goes up, it goes like that, they're blocks. When you go like this, they're strikes. When you go like this, it's still a wrist block, but there's a transition here. So all of these techniques, when you build off of them, especially this, the hand goes through this motion, but it's an anti-grab movement. Someone grabs your hand, if you do that, even though it's the same movement as a back fist, you can change directions and actually get the grip to release. So that's really a transition that once you do it correctly, then you realize the importance of it. So I just want to emphasize that when you're doing movement, you have to develop the correct movement, the correct pattern, and the correct spatialness of that motion. So a movement like this is defined within that space. This is not in that space because it got altered. It doesn't have a natural strength. When we fold the elbow and drop and pull back, that changed into 3 dimensions of movement. That changes when someone grabs your wrist and changes. All of that changes how someone grabs you and grips because the forces of a hand is here. This is much bigger, but you can't go out there because now you no longer have leverage. So leverage really has to do with how movements are affected and how it's related to your body movement, because body movements have to be within your space. So that's referencing low, center line and middle, and then high. Shoulder height is something we use as a reference, but most of our blocks are within this space. We don't actually reach out beyond here. If you go to the sides, how do you go to the side? You turn. You turn. So when you do a drill like this, or you do a drill like this, that's really a reference in direction, 45 degrees, but it has to do with this turning and this turning. So legs, torso, hands have to all work together as a unit. So nothing that we do should be isolated in the sense that you would do this, turn, and then move the hand. It has to go together. So that gives you what the forms do. It helps you develop mapping of footwork, going in directions, and then it has individual techniques that you build, and then footwork. Now, to get to each position, there's transitions. So a transition is moving your hand. This is a transition. This is a transition. This is a transition. That's a final position. That's a final position. That's a final position. That's a final position. So what's the importance of a final position? Because we're dealing with a mind-body relationship and you're dealing with a motor skill. Motor skills are learned skills that are movements that the body perform. So your mind has to understand a certain amount of concept, theory, so that when you do a punch and you have this idea of center line, it doesn't matter where you're facing, it really is in relationship to your body. So where your punch goes is really directed toward the target, depending on where the opponent is. So the 2 things that you have to be concerned with is your body position and form and your target. So how do we know where that is? Because we align it to the nose and we turn 45 degrees. So that's all you have to do is deal with that space. So it's not really this big, it's only here. It's not that high, it's only here. It's not lower than this, because when you block and you go high, and that's all you need to do. We go to a low block where you say, well, what if they punch lower than that? Well, that's what your legs are for. That's what the squatting is for. So if I go like this, and I go like this, the frame of reference for the arm is the same. So that's what we have to realize. When we do our forms, if we do this, and we do this, the upper body does the same movement. The modification is in the legs. Changes the height. It changes a little bit in direction. So that's what we learn. And then accuracy comes from that standard. Shoulder height to the center. Center. Middle. Middle. So this is, if you understand that concept, then that's what you focus on. And the only way to develop that is through repetition. So we don't do hundreds of these drills. We could in a class. It would be rather boring if I spent the hour doing that. So it's something that you can do on your spare time to build that idea. You know, this, we do 20, 20, 20. And then if you do 100, because you have, you know, the ambition to do that, then that's where you would, you know, really develop. Okay, any questions? So let's do the kicks. So the kicks, we're in a ready position. We go to a leaning stance. 1, 2, right? This is the upper body, and you end up here. So how we held this position is like when we do this, right? So holding a position is sustaining a position regardless of what punch it is. So you go 1, 2, and then you would kick. This goes to here. 1, 2, 3. That's your front kick. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Find your center. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, switch sides. So remember, your upper body can twist. But if you don't twist, then you have to aim the hand in a direction. If you twist, the profile movement is very direct, and it aligns the movement on a narrowish centerline path. So if you can see, if your shoulders are this big, then it starts to do this. Well, it's more efficient to do this, because you create a point A to point B much more efficient because it's quicker and more direct. But it's really a function of this and that. Okay, so that's where the upper-lower coordination comes in. So your legs are very important. You have to work the hip. That's why we stretch. Turn the body. That's why we turn and we turn. So none of the things that we do actually are just to do them. We have a purpose. So we're ready. Ready position. 1, 2, kick. 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 Good. Don't lose your balance. 1. So when you kick, you should be stable and then go back. Don't go 1, because then if you hit a target, you're gonna not sure where you're gonna go. Because what if I go like this and I want to come in this way, like in the first form? So you have options if you have balance. There's your center. Ready? 1, 2, kick. Good. 1, 2, kick. 1, 2, kick. 1, 2, kick. Good. 1, 2, and then switch. Other side, heel kick. Ready. 1, 2, push. 1, 2, push. 1, 2, push. Try to control the hip so you don't overturn. 1, 2, but there is a little bit of turning this way. So you want the hip to go to 45, then, or the heel, then you have more of a pathway. When it's too square, it's really trying to, and then you're not really, so it doesn't have a good support on the backside. Ready, go. 1, 2, push. When you push, try to get the heel, okay? Ready, 1, 2, hold, up, slow. Okay, hold it up, 1, and then like that. Like that. So this shouldn't overturn. Okay, switch, other side. So what you're really controlling is your skeleton. Everything that we're doing is controlling our bones. Our bones are controlled by our muscles, and our muscles are controlled by here. So everything is directed from the mind, so you have to feel the movement and know the direction of the technique. It goes all the way down to the ground. Ready? Okay, 1, 2, push. 1, 2, push. 1, 2, push. So don't anticipate the pullback. Leave it and then sink it. 1, 2, 1, 2. It becomes passive active, not active active. You see how this looks? And see how this looks? It's much more synchronized, much more in harmony with your body. That's it. 1, 2. Nothing comes out by itself. 1, 2. Boom. 1, 2. Push. 1, 2. Get your hands. Get awareness up in the hands too. 1, 2. Boom. 1, 2. Okay. Good. Shake it out. Deep breathing. So the reason why we do this is to build the coordination between the upper body and the lower body. Because once you're here and you kick, you still have to control and keep it as soft as possible, because once you stiffen, it's going to slow you down. Because what happens when you stiffen before your next movement? You have to relax. You have to get rid of that phase, and the movements will be smooth. Okay, now next we're going to do the straight kick up. So how does that? This is just a swing, and you're just letting it go. 1, 2, 3, and down. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Good. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So if you turn beyond square, it'll go up a little bit higher, because there's a little space in the hip where it's like that. It allows you in the right your hip. Yeah, go. So you toe out. Turn the foot out on the way. Yeah. So that opens your hip. See, because I'm here, if I keep it here, then I'm like this. Open, let your hip go up, and then you let it go, right? But you get good flexibility in it. Yeah. So up, yeah, good. Good. Swing. Turn your hip a little, yeah, good. So you can turn this foot out more. Yeah, that'll help. I call it toeing out. We toe out. Okay, we shake it out. We can switch the other side out. Toeing out is this. So between this is neutral, this is foot in, and this is your foot out. So when does this happen? Sometimes you're passing through straight, it goes to straight. When you're in a stance, this one is slightly turned in, the feet stay parallel. If I want to step out in order to pass through, I would do that. So a lot of times when you're in a horse stance, you would do this. So that's really toeing out with a pullback. But when you're here, we just need to do this just to open the hip. When the hip opens, then you're really facing that way, but you're kicking that way. So just a little bit, because the way the hip is designed, if you keep it straight like that, it only can go 90 degrees. When you angle out like that, there's a pathway that's a little bit more open for you to go straight up. So, there's a limit to what people can do. Everyone's different based on their ligaments and tendons. So some people have, better, looser ligaments, or not necessarily better, but it's better for kicking because it's much more relaxed or longer. So they used to call that double jointed, but there's no such thing as double jointed. It's only one joint with more elastic ligaments. So people that have hyperextension in the elbows and those type of things, that's really their ligaments. But if you have that problem when the elbow hyperextends, you have to stop your punches before it gets to that point. Because if you keep doing that, you're going to damage your joint or the ligament. So you don't want to do that. And the knees are the same thing. So we always actually stop it shy of locking. And your kicks actually, when you kick, it doesn't really lock, although it looks like a full extension. But you get it to go as far as you can. Because in the joint, there's a little sensor. And if you extend it and train like that, it stops before you hyperextend it. Otherwise, you'll injure your joint. So you have to find that point and then work for that maximum position. Okay, so let's switch and stretch. Ready? So here, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and up. 1, 2, and up. Okay, good. Next, shake it out. We're going to go to the round kick. So round kicks to crosses over. So important thing is to get your hip open again. You're going to go 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and then back. So your hip has to come like that. Good. 1, 2, turn. 1, 2, turn. 1, 2, turn. 1, 2, turn. 1, 2, kick. Good. You get a little higher. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and switch. Okay. So it's nice and she has a nice round kick. It goes around. You have a good kick. Very nice and ready. Round kick. Ready. 1, 2, kick. Good. That's nice. 1, 2. So the most important part is the knee position. Once your knee's in the right position, it goes around. So knee position, elbow position are kind of the same idea. Good control. Okay, good. So Max, try to launch your kick so it starts from back here a little bit so that it'll finish over here, right? Because if you launch it too late, it's going to go over there. Good. Yeah, don't pull it back. Just let it go. It will come back by itself. Yeah, don't pull because, okay, good. Like this. Like that. Yeah. Yeah, a little more extension. Toe out and a little more extension. Yeah, good. See how that felt? Yeah. Yeah, good, good. See what happens, a lot of times people kick and they want to pull it back. But you have to think about your muscles. When this pulls, it wants to go out. When this pulls, this wants to come back. If there's a conflict in that movement, especially if you're fatiguing, you know what happens? You end up tearing your muscle or you pull a muscle. Because one side is pulling, one side is not releasing. That conflict is when people usually pull their leg, the hamstring, when they're kicking. So people that are, that really don't know how to do this end up hurting the leg on the first day because they over try doing it. So best thing is learn to relax it and just let it go. But you don't have to pull it back. It comes back by itself because once it's extended, it only can come back because the ligaments and tendons will cause it to come back. Then gravity's working with you. Okay, ready? Deep breathing. Inhale. Okay, so let's go through, we can shift this way a little bit, but let's go, maybe we can go through 5 stances with the opening, just as a review here. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Sink, salute, step. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Close. 1, 2, 3. Shoot. Punch. Yep. 1, cross. 2. Corner back fist. Spin. 1, 2, 3. Reverse. Reverse lean. Lift and pause. Drop this as you turn. Uppercut. And close. Okay, try it again. 1, 2. Sliding step punch. Reach behind, draw, punch. Cross step. Spin and point the elbow first. Don't rush the punch, because once we turn, we're here. We're in a good position. We can launch the. Right? So you launch it so that it's like that. Then like that. Step, punch, hands here. Step like this. Reverse. Lift, drop, extend, from here, up, and close. One more time, ready? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Close. Okay, everybody good with that? So, all right, deep breathing. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Okay, ready? First form. Ready? Try to stay together. I'll give it a count. Ready? Eyes staring straight ahead. So you're in attention. Fingertips have a little bit of focus. So focus is a bit of tension, but just realigning your body. It's sort of, you're alert at this point. So you're in the moment. Your mind is clear. Ready? 1. Okay, so we're here first, and then here. Yeah. 3, 4. 1, 2. Bend. Pivot. High. Low. Dragon. Pause. Step back and reverse. Draw. Scoop. Uppercut. Remove. Punch. Okay, straighten the wrist, other hands here. Squat down. Uppercut. Remove. Punch. Suspended. Down. To the back. Strike. Lift up. Step forward. Punch. Okay, down again. Uppercut. Sliding step. Sliding step. Okay, we'll go over that in a second. Okay, go down. Elbow up. Cross hands. Cutting hand. Double palm. Remove. Punch. Step to the back. Set up your hand. Draw elbow. Elbow. Oh, other foot's forward. Yeah, other foot. Yeah. Okay. Back fist. Palm. High block. Crescent kick, jump kick. Trapping hand. Back fist. Okay, remove. Punch. Good. Change directions. 1, 2. sliding step, palm, palm, this one's a palm, and where should be the palm? The nose, the knee, and it's here. Yeah. Scoop, press, kick, and punch. Okay, relax the wrist a little bit so it's not overcranked. Yeah, okay. Sit into the stance so you don't tuck your hip. Just let the hips relax. Don't over tuck. You actually should be like that. See, if you tuck your hips, you know what that does? It creates tension here, and you can't sink. You have to kind of fold. So you sort of sit into the stance. Okay, next. Dragon, step, next. Sliding step, punch. Turn to close. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Okay, deep breathing. Just to clarify a couple of things. When you do an uppercut, let it swing from here. So if you were down here, drop the hand and let it come like this. Because an uppercut actually is a rising movement. And if your movement is supported by part of your body, if you want the body to integrate, when you're coming up, you come forward a little bit and then lift your back. And that creates a rising movement that supplements your force going upward. Now, because you're uppercutting and lifting, then when you go like this and you sit back and then sink. So that you get the power from the sink to remove. Yeah. And then you drive your punch in when you turn your body. Boom. And then keep focus in the front target, that's imaginary, and then you just twist. And that's getting your fist here. Now the uppercut sliding step punch, you lift, boom. Then you're going to kind of do this. It's creating this. So you're really withdrawing and stepping at the same time. So then the timing and the quickness comes from, right. So it's like just going over your hand. So this hand actually could do that. 1, 2. So we just did the hand without the legs. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Now if you don't turn your torso when you're like this, how do you get your hand back here to do that? So the turning of the torso helps you chamber the fist, allows you to do that. Now you're stepping too, right? So you're stepping, so you chamber as you step, and then you launch as you reset. So that's what the coordination. So this is here. This is here. Now you turn away, take a step, and then turn. And then do it again. Uppercut, launch. That's it. Good. So that's a timing. It's really more of a timing thing. And the coordination is creating a combination of, if you broke it down into 2 segments, it would be like this. 1, 2. So that's mistimed. It's too slow. But if you're learning it, that's what you would pick up in the beginning. But once you know the form, then you want to go right through that movement, and then you're there, and then you would do this, and then lift, then cross. Lifting really should be here. It doesn't come to the front. You lift, then it comes to the front. See? So if you look in the mirror, after you lift, you're here. Then it comes to here. Because we're changing directions. We push, we go to here. 1, 2. Now double palm is about waist level and about shoulder width, but not here. It's actually slightly in because this area, the armpit, has to not leave us a gap. You don't want a gap when you palm. If you're palming and there's a gap, you don't have your legs behind you. They're not supporting it. So when you drop your elbows, that's going to strengthen your structure. So if you're in a position like this, if I were to push, it would feel very strong. If your elbows are out slightly and I push, you're going to feel a difference, right? Because it's unsupported. So every movement that we do actually be supported by something. What's it supported by? Supported by your stance. That's your base. So without a base that's aligned with the upper body, it's misaligned, so the amount of force that it has is lost its potential. And the potential of the movement really is through that alignment. That's called structural integrity. Structural integrity creates a good structure, and your execution, your delivery is going to be much better. So, these are little things, but it's really important as you evolve. If you get to a yellow belt or a brown belt and you don't understand these basic principles, then you have to learn them at that point, because it's very hard to progress when you get to a more advanced stage. And then what happens? You have to relearn everything from the beginning. So we have a lot of people that even that got the brown belt that didn't pay attention to some of these detail things that were pretty important. So I'm trying to get you to understand now, so that in the future you have your progression is going to be much better. So that's the first one. So we'll go to the second form. Have you done the second form, Pasha? Yeah, still at this point. On your left. Okay, so we'll get through more of that. Now, there's probably a lot of things to learn within the second form as well. So we'll go through it from the beginning. If I pick up anything, I'll correct it. And if you're missing some sequence, we'll add it, and we'll see where it goes. Okay, ready? Eye staring straight ahead. 1, 2, 3. Okay, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1. Here. 2. Straighten the wrists. So these are positions, because we don't have mirrors always that we're looking at. We don't know that our hands are like this or like this. So when you shoot your hands down, the important thing is to cup your shoulders. Because you leave your shoulders back there, no matter how close you want your hands to be, it's not going to happen. So you have to roll your shoulders forward to close your center. Okay, and then open and push. Scoop. Middle block, step up and punch. Reverse stance. That's just like in the 5 stances. Chop to the waist. Scoop, press, kick, punch. Okay, where's the other hand? Right, good. Always protect your ribs. Okay, now a little high. Adrian, over this hand. This hand should be lower. Yeah. So don't tilt Release this hip. Yeah, because you kind of, your butt is sticking out. You want to go this way. Yeah. See, because you're like this, and then your hand goes up. Settle here. So you don't want to do that. Keep this as plumb as possible. We always work with a vertical spine, because gravity works with verticalness. Okay, now next, go. Change directions. 1, 2. Sliding step punch. Diagonal strike. Good. Double up, lift. Remember we went through that 45 position? Remember we went to here in the high block? Drop your elbow. 1, 2, 3. Here's your cross step. Spin. Palm strike. Scoop, press, kick, and pause. Jump back. Okay, jump back and turn. Lift. Chop. Lift. Twist. Kick. And finish. Hold it there for a second. Okay, so find your leaning stance. And we're here. So this shoulder actually should come like that. So your wrist can actually crank over a little bit like that, because you're not actually doing this up there. You're doing this, because you're going to change the projectile or projection of that hand into there, because your target is here. Now when you practice, we're referencing our own body, so we're doing that. And this shoulder should go that way a little. Yeah. So you're squaring the body. The fingertips should be supported like this. And then do that. Yeah. Can you fold it tighter? Yeah, like that. Okay, get in a good stance. This should be here. And here. And then you tighten this a little bit to give it some structure. And then lean, one, a little more, yeah. Now you feel in the thigh. Okay, here, shoulders here. So if I adjust your hands, if you're not comfortable, you can actually get some parallel afterwards. Okay, ready? Change directions. Sliding step, punch. Reach behind, elbow, shoot it out, poke, chop, back fist. Put it here, step. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nice. Elbow up, drag it down. Elbow. So this is like this. Yeah. So the front of the shoulders, if you can, right? And you're actually here. Okay, good. Now dragon. Okay, good. Cross step. Spin. Okay, so just as a pointer, when you cross and spin, what's going to happen? You cross, spin, there's your high block. You're going to drop your hand and palm. So don't think that this is just there to do that. This is actually redirecting something or an arm, and then you're going to palm strike. Yeah, right. So get it down to here, and then tie it together there. So you have that equal opposite hand movement that actually has to work together. Yeah, like that. See, because both sides always have to tie together. So when I'm here, it goes like that. Then I scoop, press. Now this is pressing. Look at this. This goes down. This goes back. Right? Kick. And then I set up this. I switch feet. And then you have to drive it in by sinking down and then lifting up, then twisting and chopping. So this one stays in the stance. This one twists. And that's the same diagonal strike as that one. Just the stance is different. Now kick. There's your phoenix eye again. Yeah. Good. Then you're going to go that way. Ready? Turn and pivot. Drop your hands. 1. Flip in 2. Step in 3. Push. 1, 2, 3. Step up 45 degrees. Step up 45 degrees. 1. Pull back and sink. Drop your elbow. Chop. Okay, so this is a claw like this. Yeah. And come forward a little bit. Flex the wrist. Okay. More. Knee. Yeah. Okay, now adjust the back foot. A little bit more, Rose. And then elbow. Shoot it out. That's tied to your waist. So once you chop, wind your waist and then launch it. Once you launch the elbow, drop your palm. Dropping palm, back fist. And then turn the sword finger. Turn. Lift. Lift and hold for a second. This is too high. Okay, and then this one should be here. Like the high block in gung. Okay. And trap. Step forward and poke. And you can actually elongate the poke a little bit, and it goes to the corner. And you turn, salute. Okay, so once you trap, you step up, press, and poke. So here's the elongated move. Now you turn like this. Now you step to here, and then drive it to that corner, and then we're back to center. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So everything we're doing is actually directional. Once you do a form, you have to define that direction and you set up your body to go into that direction. So trapping hand is in the corner. This one is in the corner. This one, see how the hand drops here. And then here, and then here. So not really realizing why we would do any of these, you might see, well, why is it so critical that you do that? Because when I'm here and I'm exposed here, if I want to protect that, I have to do this. If I'm exposed here, I have to turn to there. And then this follows up. So every transition, I call them transitions with voids. If you leave a void there, you left the opening. You left the opening, that's where your opponent would try to attack. So this is just doing a virtual motion, but the thing is, that's how we learn. A form is a book of movement. It's a vehicle to practice and train, the different transitions. Now we may miss most of the concepts that are in the form because of the lack of experience and lack of understanding, So you have to actually analyze the movement and understand that there is a strategy to everything you're doing. So when we sink our hand, when we start, we move the hand, can we do this? It almost looks the same, but it's not as effective as if I did this. It's not as effective if I did this. This hand has to do this. This hand has to do that. So that there's a preciseness to it, but you have to kind of work your way through it until your body discovers. So a lot of it's through your discovery, and that discovery comes from experience. So experience is something that, as a newer student, you would be lacking that until you hear it, and then you kind of house that information. Then you practice, and eventually that information starts to get sorted out, and you start to recognize the concept. So a lot of things that we talk about, this movement is really a similar action. It goes into the same place. Right? So it's the same action. This movement is the same action as a high block. Right? This and this is the same action. So once you recognize those fall into a category of movement, and those categories start to, help you build your framework, and then you can learn many forms and still have good structure and integrity. Now imagine musicians do the same thing. So basically, we all learn the same thing, same way, because that's how we learn. You're an artist, you go through the same process until you have the categories of, what your intent is. So it's you learn one thing, you learn other things same way. So that's why this type of training actually attracts computer people, artists, engineers, people that people who work with space. This is just the minds of people that fall into this kind of a category. Teaches you analytical skills, and also teach you, most people that are like that are very disciplined anyways, because they're fanatical about doing something a certain way. So, all right, let's a few deep breaths and go to third form. So a lot of times the classes, we go through the forms, but we don't get enough technical information. This is really technical more than just sequential. So you pick up on some of these strategies. I go through all the forms with you. So when you practice them, you really have a different objective. The goals are different. So, okay, ready? Third form. Okay. So all of you I know have gone to third form. So ready? Eyes staring straight ahead. So we're like this. And then you sink in high block. So we're here. 1, 2. You sink. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, lunge. Step through punch. Other hands here. This is the one form that slaps. Grab. Folded elbow. So roll your elbow short. Lift. Punch. Heel. Elbow. Back fist. Turn. Pull. high, hook, lock, sink your elbow, hop. 1, 2, 3. Catch your elbow, shoot it up. So that's under here. Okay, ready? Hop. Uppercut. Sorry, hop. 2, 3, lunge. Now from here it's going down. So we have to step through. One more step, yeah. Grab and pull. And push. Okay, let's try that part again. So let's go from the back fist. Okay. So in fact, let's face this way. We just do these movements like this. You know, I'm going to put another mirror here next time we're here. I'm waiting for the rollers, but we're here, right? Back fist. Okay, let's face this way. Sorry. And then we're going to turn like this and thrust. So you see, you have to look at yourself when you do the movement. Do you see that when we turn and we set up the hands, see my elbow, see my hand, it thrusts up, grab, and pull. When you're here, 1, 2. So you sink the elbow and turn the body. Okay, then you high. This cranks over, joint. Sink, twist your body so you drop this way, come around, and you're like this. Now look at your feet. You don't want to be here. You want to be here. 1, 2. We should do one more, but the thing is, that's good. We're looking at the hands. Okay. So that's the first part. Sorry. So here, 1, 2, 3, hop. 1, 2, 3. Now this is here, catch. So it's underneath. Then we sink and lift. So this is an uppercut, and this is tied to the upper hand. Then you hop, then we lunge, and we step through and punch. Okay, so we can step back a little bit. See, because this is a linear form, it goes, a lot of moves go forward. So Rose, you can shift. Do you have a mirror to look at? Yeah. Okay, so let's go from here, right? We poke, 1, 2. So you don't want to do this and just pull here. You want to pull down towards you and then finish with the rotation. See what I mean? 1, 2. Now lift, ginger knuckle, scoop, cross the arms. This comes first, this comes second, and you sink. Hop. 1, 2, 3. Turn this hand up. Punch. Drop. So the hand goes down. Now we lift up at once. Hop. 1, 2, 3. Now this hand's going to go down after you step. Fold the elbow. Sit back and turn. Now here, when you push, don't reach, turn. So what happens, watch my elbow. If I go like this, it gets stiff, right? Right, Brian? So what you want to do is turn. You see, when your hand creates this, it's going to go right to left. This creates a turn. So it's not going to be, it's redirecting. Then you're turning like this. Turn, 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 turn. See? So the turning becomes horizontal rotation. Forward and backward is like this. Angular and around is like this. So everything that we do is really a direction of motion. So a circle is this. A circle is this. Combining the circle and then reversing would be that. When we're here, we're like that. So this is capturing. This is catching. This is stomping. This is uppercut. So that's a high block or a lift. Or it can be actually a strike to the chin. If you're in there and this follows up, that would be a strike. Okay, so Then you would lunge, grab, pull through your center, and then turn. Now this hooks, we go to forward position, elbow. Scoop, suspended horse, elbow. And so between the two elbows we have a hook and an elbow, a hook and an elbow, a hook and an elbow. So a lot of you have learned the fourth form. So where we hook and palm, this is hook and elbow, hook and elbow. So what you're doing is capturing, lifting, hooking, lifting. This is turning, turning. So if we define those motions, then we can define the direction. So these are little things that will help you kind of straighten out the form. All right. So we got that. Let's try that one more time, and we'll go back to the original format. Right. So we're here. Back fist, turn and poke. Pull down. So you pull down and turn high. So you tilt a bit here. Forward stance. 1, 2, 3. Hop. 1, 2, 3. Catch. Stomp. Uppercut. Hop. 1, 2, 3. Then you step through if you have room. Punch. Grab and pull. So your hands are parallel now. So we grab and pull like this. You're right, like that. Right. We push like this, and then we're going to hook. Okay. Oh, sorry. Wait. We grab and push. Then we hook. Elbow. Bend down. Toe out. Step up. Elbow. High block. Elbow drops like this. Chop. Scoop. Twist. Double elbow. Keep it close. So double elbow is your hook wrist. You're like this. And then you step toward the front wall and you do that. Pivot twice and punch. And this punch actually normally is over there. Right. Okay, so let's go back to that direction, put that together. Right. So we're in the back fist position over there. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Okay, once we're here, vertical elbow, you're here like this. So this is like the dragon. Okay, lunge, catch your elbow. Oh, the first one is no step. First one is just down, up, hop, 1, 2, lunge, step through the punch, grab and pull, and push. And then we have 2 elbows, 1 in a leaning stance, 2 in a suspended, high and chop. So there's a sequence there that you probably haven't really got to yet. So Kim, you want to work with Adrienne a little bit on the sequence? Or review from the beginning with her. And we'll just keep going, all right? That's new for you, some of the stuff? Okay, so you can go with Kim. She's in the black down there. And just review from beginning and see where that. So once we're here, okay, we're at the double elbow. Slice, 1, 2, punch. Okay, high block and sweep. Second sweep. Hop, kick, jump kick. Okay, so the jump kick actually, once you get to here, you kick, the jump kick has a finger poke to the eye. So this is actually like this. So you're actually, it's a, you're here, you're kicking, and then drawing the attention toward the eyes, because you don't want to get poked in the eyes, but you're going to get kicked in the groin. So it's just a deceptive movement. So you're going 1, kick, and then that. All right. So that coordination, yeah, good. And then from there, come up, uppercut, cross, lift, cross, lift, and then you're going to turn, cross, lift, elbow, 1, 2, 3. 2, 3. Okay, uppercut. Sweep 1. Sweep 2. Sweep 3. Turn. Sweep again. Sweep and chop. Hook. Back fist. Pull back. Okay, hop. 1, 2, 3. Lunge. Okay, good. Step through on that one, yeah. So, lunge. Then when you turn, we use that same cross hand block to here. So that's good closing movement. If this movement that we use here, you can actually that is closing when you do this. And then we turn to here. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we see the closing movements. We're here. 1, 2, 3, right? 1, 2, 3. So we try to build timing in every movement. So when we end, we're pressing down, but you're straightening up. Okay. So some of those things are hard to pick up on, when you're streaming, but sequence and a lot of those things can, unless it's really explained. That's why when I stream out, there's a lot more talking because you can't really see some of that stuff, especially when you're going through it so fast. So have you done with the fourth form? No, you started.
Like halfway into it.
Oh yeah. Have you been doing that online a little bit? No. All right. So we can go through it anyways. Start it, go as far as we can, and then we'll see where it goes. Okay, ready? Let's go to fourth form. Because I've corrected a lot of the other forms. We just go through it, let's see how it looks, and then we can just work with a bit of sequence. Iris, you want to come up? You want to lead it? Okay. Okay, ready? Eyes staring straight ahead. Begin. Hup. 1, 2, 3. Salute. 1, 2. 1. Open the stance. Good horse stance. Lift. Cross. Fold. Okay, lift. Wrist block. Strike. Elbows parallel to the shoulders. Okay, ready? Turn. Okay, back to center. 1, 2. Thrust. Sink. Turn. Back to center. 1, 2. Throw. Close. Okay, next. 1. To the left. Chopping hand. Cutting hand. Palm. Form your fist and punch. Back to center. 2 punches. 1, 2. Other side. Same as the first. Mirror image. 2, 3. Form the fist. Punch, punch. Okay, good. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 1. Corner, corner. Side, side, side. Middle, middle, middle. Pull. 1, 2, 3. Lift, pull back, cut. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wrist block, so it goes up, 2, and close. Okay, we can just watch a little bit. You can stay here. 2, double thrust. 1, 1, 2, 3. Okay, turn, adjust, stop, turn. 1, 2, 3. Change directions. Scoop, uppercut, remove, punch, punch. Change directions. Scoop, uppercut, remove, punch, punch. Back to center. 1, 2. Sliding step. Turn. Corner, low, low. 3 to the side. 1, 2, 3. 3 to the middle. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Next step. Corner back fist. 1, 2, 3. Elbow, strike down. Back fist, cutting hand. Palm. Turn, jump. Sliding step, palm. Step to the rear. Double back fist. Oh, other foot. Yeah, other foot next. Yeah, other foot's forward. Okay, 1, 2, 3, push. 1, 2, 3, push. Center, butterfly, push. Cat stance, drunken fist. High block. 1, scoop. 1, 2, 3, 2, 3. Sliding step, punch. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. Okay, good. So you enjoy it here. What we might do is go to the end of the form and work a little bit with the end. Even though you haven't got to the end, we can work on it as a group. But anyways, when we're here, make sure after the trapping hand, when you trap, don't leave this open just from here. It's on the side of your body, right? So you just have to drop it to here. Okay, then when we cut palm, form the fist, it's a short punch, we pivot back. Okay, punch, punch, and we're here. Okay, so the other sides are the same. Now, when we're here, when we palm strike, it's 1, 2, 3. So we don't want to partially do the palms. You want to go all the way from side to side. So remember I said that a form is sort of a vehicle to practice your transitions. So your transition has to go into that stance, into that stance. Then the body starts to recognize that that's what's going on with that hand. Now this goes up. Hook, up, hook, up, hook, up. And then you start in your stance. All right. Now when we get to the back side, we're going to be, after we turn over there, we have this set of corner back fists. Okay. Now we're going in that corner, so we slide, palm, step through your center, double block, pull back, double back fist. Now we're going to scoop that way and move the foot this way. Now our body's facing that corner, so we go into the corner and we step through. So this is just like typical butterfly. The next one's a little different. We stomp, flip this way, so your hand's opposite, yep, and push. Now when we cross the forearm, go to a cat stance, and then turn like this. Step to the horse, goes like this, adjust the back foot, and then go high. So you're always in that offset. Now drop the forearm, step through, toe out, and chop. Then you do your 3 sweeps. Yep. 1, 2, 3. Spin the feet, lift the elbows, open the stance, and jump. Not the other way, yeah. And then you would chun. So we're just facing the opposite way because we use that side. So there's just a few things, that I pointed out that it's really this is important, and then your finishing of the 2 side palms or the 3 side palms. Any questions near the back? So that's what the back side's like. So we can do it, the normal side. So let's go to corner back fist. So we just jumped, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Push. 1, 2, 3. So this you stomp. Push, cross hands, left hand's on top, just like, so sink down the stance a little bit, yeah. Work that leg 1. Then while you're there, high, chop, step, scooping 1, 2. So the sweeps, turn the shoulder away a little bit, 2, 3, turn, 3, 4, 5. Sliding step, punch, turn, salute. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Good. So went through a whole lot of stuff. Next time you should try to put some of that stuff in it. Next time you're here, we'll work more on sequence. So good. So hope that was helpful. Okay, so Kim, we're gonna we're gonna wrap it up. So good. Yeah, we're gonna line up. Yeah. So any questions? No. So new schedule. This Friday is the normal class instead of Thursday. So hopefully you can make that. So it's Friday at 6. So go 6, 7, and then there's a conditioning class after that. And that's that's a new schedule. All right, face this way. I'm going to bow 3 times. 2, 3, salute. Okay, good. Yeah, everything's looking good.